So I gotta get up this truck is getting ready to get packed up. Let's see what we got. Good morning, Tiffany. Vamp Press, welcome to the channel. That's a new. I don't think you've been here before. Magical Girl, what's up? Good morning. Hey, King baby, what's up? Ronnie, what's up? I'm gonna get to it, homie. Oh, Monet, what's up, baby? I'm gonna get to it, girl. Tiffany, good morning. Let's wait for a few folks to get in. Hope you guys are having a good morning. I'm at the Choctaw Casino in Oklahoma. I made it here last night. I got a story to tell you. I will be leaving these people. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm done. I'm done. This right here is beyond scope. I'll tell y'all this story. I'm gonna ask you what you would do, but I'm pretty much I'm done. Y'all tell me what you would do, but I'm done. Visa Freedom. I don't think I've ever seen you on the channel. Welcome. Is it Visa or Visa? Tell me if it's the first or the second. I'm trying not to mispronounce it. It's either Visa or Visa, like Lizzo or Lizzo. Lizzo. Okay. Thank you, Magical Girl. Yeah, let me go ahead and get that out. If you guys come to the channel or if you watch this later on, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Like it. If you don't like it, in the words of my homegirl D Boy Stance, somebody else might. So like it anyway. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. And then also please share it out so people can find out about the channel. My goal is to help people as I can, and I just tell my story, whether you like it, lump it, or love it. I just tell my side of the trucking um, visa. Oh, it's like a visa, like a card. Okay, okay. Hey, Dustin. Good morning, Rochelle. Hey, Miss Pearl. What's up? What's up, girl? I'm going through, Miss Pearl. I'm going through. I'm getting ready to tell y'all. All right. I don't know if anybody else can come in here, but yeah, if you do like, subscribe, share this out, we appreciate it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that here at the end, y'all. Schneider is doing some layoffs, so I'm gonna talk about that too. Dustin brought that up. Um, I don't know how I found out about it in one of my CDL groups. Trucking in Heels. What's up, Mama? Yeah. When I tell y'all this story, I'm gonna get some opinions. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's see. I'm trying to see if anybody else coming in. Danielle started her new company, and I actually told her not to come here. Well, she had already me and her had talked because there was a lot going on, and I had been down too much within 30 days. So, and then there's other things that had transpired, and I said, Danielle, don't come here. I said, worst case scenario, go back to that white trans dude in Lubbock, make the money you have and find something else. Now she telling me she left him because of family. I don't know if I necessarily, but the guy's a jerk, and I think he got on Danielle's nerves too, because you living in Lubbock. You can always take time off and go see handle family stuff. You're not living where the family's at, and you buying you got property in Lubbock. You getting a house in Lubbock. I think Miss Danielle, I love you, Danielle. I think you got sick of old boy. I'm just saying, with all the shenanigans, and he's gonna be who he is. Sad part is that everything else about the company was okay, with the exception that their insurance was way too high, and he was annoying as hell. And she wasn't even working there when she referred me in. But because the only thing she told me is you make good money. She didn't warn me up front that he was special. She didn't warn me about that until I started experiencing it. But I hadn't actually talked to her. I was going through her sister, and no, I did talk to her on the phone. I hadn't met her in person yet. Hadn't met her in person. Oh, magical. That's right. We gonna have to talk. Yeah. Find that out. We'll find out. Yeah, I want to know about that. Well, it's only a certain area of the country, and it's only a certain division of Schneider. It's not the main part of Schneider, from what I understand, is doing the layoffs. So it's only a certain part of the country, and it's only a division of Schneider. US Express kept calling me for the past week, kept telling them, hell no. Okay. Yeah. Dustin, I'm me and the starter companies. I'm looking at smaller companies now. Hey Danielle, I was just talking about you. Yeah, Danielle started her new little gig where she's at, and we'll see how she likes it. Um, I'm gonna get into everything, and anybody that comes in later just have to play it back, or y'all have to tell them what's going on. So let me back up. So you guys know that Mr. Cody didn't come on the truck. I sent the company a message with the pictures of the text messages from Cody, where Cody didn't make it to um didn't make it to the truck. So I said, "Look, he's tried to get on this truck two different times. Well, two different times you have it where I was reached out to him to get on the truck. The first time he told me he was going, he had been, we had the truck was broke down in Georgia, in Jackson, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, which is 2 hours and 44 minutes from where Cody lives. Cody lives in, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna scoot back. That ledge thing bothers me. That little Humpty Hump. Hold on, that Humpty Hump. It's just annoying. Um, and I got stuff coming up on the screen. Sorry. Um, Cody is 2 hours and 44 minutes from the Atlanta area and was from Jackson, where I was. He lives in, excuse me, y'all. He lives in Albany, Georgia, and he's 2 hours and 44 minutes away in Albany, Georgia. Um, I don't know, Dustin. We'll talk about Heidi later. I don't. You have to explain to me what's going on with Heidi. I don't know anything going on with Heidi. Um, he's 2 hours and he's 2 hours and change away from he's 2 hours he was out 2 hours and 44 minutes. Well, when it came down to the truck getting repaired, I had been in contact periodically with Cody while I was broke down. I said, "Hey, truck is still in the shop. I'll reach back out to you once I have more details." When the truck got fixed, I said, Cody, how long hey hey Cherie, what's up, homie?" Um I said, "How long is it gonna take you to get here to whatever?" So when we talked, I sent a text originally, he didn't reply. So then I made a phone call too just to make sure he got everything. He didn't answer. Then he called me back and he says, Miss Shannon, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm studying for my hazmat and my tanker endorsements. And I know that, I don't take those tests tomorrow. I know that you have to go make your money, so go ahead and go. And I was like, okay, you go ahead and call the lady who's over student services, Miss Jeannie. I said, you call her and let her know, that you decided not to get on the truck and what you're doing. Thank you and good luck to you. That was it. Hadn't heard from Cody. Then was it like a week or so back? He called and he wasn't passing his test and he had missed it by a couple of points. So I told him I have all the endorsements and have had all the endorsements with the exception of passenger. And I had motorcycle at one time, so I don't have passenger and motorcycle, right? But I had motorcycles. I actually drove a motorcycle before I ever drove a car, and I owned a motorcycle before I owned owned a car. Ugh, y'all forgive me. I got woke up in the middle of the night to repower this load here at the Choctaw Casino. We're gonna get to that in a minute. So at this point, Cody contacts me like whatever, and he's supposed to meet me in Rochelle, Illinois, where I dropped the load off at Americode. I did the video on that. Cody, um, they set up for he asked to get back on the truck. He asked for me to train him. He asked me to ask Miss Jeannie to train. I'm like, I'm not doing that. You need to call them. This is employment. You're a grown individual. You need to call these people and ask them uh to get you back on this truck. Okay. You need to do all of that. Shannon don't need to do that for you. You need to do that. Now I don't have a problem with training you. Kimberly, I said earlier, and I'm sorry, welcome to the channel. He was when I first was supposed to pick him up, he was 2 hours and 44 minutes from Georgia. And we could have even possibly arranged because by the time they got through fixing my truck, I was bobtailed. I could have probably arranged with the company to bobtail to Albany and pick him up. He declined getting on the truck at all because he was going to do some studying for test. When I talked to Cody later, Cody did inform me that he was trying to get on with a local company through a guy at his church for a tanker. And he needed his tanker and hazmat endorsement, and that's what he was trying to do. He also informed me that he was having a hard time coming back out here over the road verbatim because he wanted to be more home and he was having a hard time coming back out here and doing this. He's close to his wife and he wants to be home. I have no problem with that. That is nothing. I get it. I absolutely, and especially what I'm going through right now, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And I told Cody, you don't want to do this. You don't want to come back out here. So go ahead and study for your test and do what you got to do. Well, Cody, I don't know if he, and I don't want to be mean. I don't know if he has a learning disability because I'm starting to wonder if that's the case based on my conversation with Cody, or if he just been mamaed to death and he need women to do everything for him. But I, unlike my father, who I know, my father knows what to do, but he wants a woman to do everything for him. He wants him to cook for him. If he come home, all he want to do is lay on her. If he could, he can't do that anymore because it don't work anymore. But he want a woman to cook for him, clean for him, and he want her to handle everything. He just sit in his chair like this all day. He would and be subservient to him. That's what my father wants. So I don't know if a Cody is like that. I get that Cody may have some learning disabilities or maybe a little slow. Okay. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being honest. I did make light of some of the stuff Cody did, but in conjunction, Cody may have learning disabilities. A lot of my family's in education on my mom's side in some form. My grandmother, my aunt, my sister-in-law now. We've got people in education or in those realms too. So sometimes you have people who don't. It's a Bible saying, To whom much is given, much is required." Everybody has, and everybody's given a measure. So Cody may not have the same measure as everybody else. Cody drove before. So if you didn't know, Cody would drove before. He had an incident. He drove for 8 months. So he's driven. He's done this. This is not. He was only doing a refresher. He wasn't doing. They just want to put him on here because he had had an accident with the company he was with. He had had two preventables under Werner, and they took him on here. They just want him to go out for 100 hours with a mentor to make sure he was going to be safe behind their equipment, or as safe as possible, should I say. So it would have been more seeing how Cody did, you know. And this company is very much a butts in the seat, but based on what I'm seeing and possibly some other things I'm picking up, I think that I have a feeling their turnover may be high. And Trucker Bill had mentioned that when I had mentioned some things from orientation. Um, the number of people that they send to go recover trucks. The trucks are left all over the country, and usually at either one of their yards or at some service facility. And Trucker Bill said to me, "Why so many people sent all over to get recoveries? Your question is this company keeping its people?" So he says to me, that says they have a high turnover. It's too much recovery stuff going on. And and now that I'm here and I'm seeing some things, I'm going to agree. Hold on. Okay. Um, so here's what's transpired. Cody was supposed to get on here. He did not make it to Rochelle. Um, he originally told me that the bus broke down in Albany, Georgia. He broke down and then he came back with the bus never showed. Two different issues in my opinion. Well, first he said the bus broke down and he was waiting for another one. Then he came back with the bus never showed. So I don't know if the bus never showed, the first one, or the second bus that he's supposedly waiting on. But then he told me, I'm still here in Albany. Then he told me the next day that he was going to have to catch a bus out of Atlanta. His mom and dad drove him to Atlanta. He missed the Atlanta connecting bus. Again, Atlanta's 2 hours and 44 minutes from Cody. He missed the Atlanta connecting bus. And the next bus that would have gotten him to Rochelle would have got him there, I think around 10 o'clock or something like that at night on Monday. Well, they had already given me a load to pick up in Wisconsin. I was picking up Johnsonville sausages that were going all the way down to Laredo, Texas. Great run. I'm rolling hours, but I could have gotten the load in. The load was from where I was in Rochelle to Wisconsin was about maybe 170 miles, approximately. From Wisconsin to Laredo was like 1,400 some miles, okay? Just under 1,500 miles. So that's a nice little run. I had had a talk with my driver manager because I was tired of all this just doing this shuttle shit around Arkansas. I didn't understand. I'm like, why are we doing all this why are you having me shuttling? Do you not have local drivers? What is going on? I'm a driver with 6 years experience, accident incident free. And I'll be honest, guys, my checks have been 500, 600, $300 with these people. I haven't made that little money since I started back in 2000 and 9, 10 with Swift, making 26 cents a mile. Okay. The truck you gave me, while Peterbilt, and I know a lot of folks, especially my pink people, my Anglo folks, I think y'all are more prone to this and maybe some of the boys. Peterbilt is like the dick of the trucks. It's like the big cock diesel in the trucking industry. I'm a Freightliner person first, Volvo secondary. I would have preferred the newer Freightliner. I'm gonna be honest. Turning radius on the Peterbilt and the Kenworth is hellish. But what I will say is, since I've driven a Pete, I know my backing skills are very good because I've had to back and turn this big ass boy up in here, and he's a big boy. The amenities as far as storage space in this truck on stealth, but they gave me the Peterbilt. I have some feelings about why I ended up with the Peterbilt opposed to the Freightliner, but I'm not gonna get into that because I really think I was supposed to get a Freightliner, but they gave the new Freightliner to somebody else in the classroom. I wouldn't even go into that because there was something that was said to me, and then when I got the Peterbilt and I got in and saw the Qualcomm, I'm like, okay, they did a switcheroo, but I'm okay because it's where I'm at in the country, and I'm gonna get my ass back to the West Coast and deal with West Coast companies. Um, that run logically. Um, They gave me the Peterbilt. The Peterbilt looked like it had been in a jackknife right off the bat. There was the black, I call them the wind guards on the back of the cab. They were missing, and some of them were laying in here on the floor. Um, there was a crack down in the lower skirt on the driver's side. When I got in the truck, the lady's like, "Oh," and here's where some of the problems have. And when I went in and talked to the lady in maintenance, I said, "Well, what's going on?" She says, "Oh, well, there's maintenance supposed to be done on the truck." She goes, "Okay, well, I can clear that." I said, "No, no, 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 no. Whatever's supposed to be done with this truck, it needs to be done before I leave this yard. You don't give me something that's supposed to have some maintenance done. You're gonna clear it out. We need to get that done. Okay, I'm not. I want to push it to later. I want it done now because I don't want to have to come back here and deal with stuff." I said, "Secondly, we got two black things in the back on the floor." Well, then I didn't realize what it was. And then when she told me, "Oh, I don't know what it is," which I think was bull. When I got out and looked at the back, I realized these are the two missing wind guards on the truck. So I ended up sitting there over the weekend after getting out of the class. We got out the class on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I think they didn't get me in till I can't remember, but I sat for a couple of days waiting for the maintenance to be done on the truck, that to be repaired, and then they didn't get me out till I think that Monday. So my first check was almost like because it included their sign-on bonus or part of it or whatever, it was close to $800. Okay, something like that. That's the first check. Well, then I leave out and the truck is shaking and I have to deal with the jacked up driver manager, Jason. Y'all heard the video. I was talking to the other guy. There were three of us out of orientation that were given to Jason. Jason in the room, I already read Jason's card. Jason, as soon as he met me, I didn't even know if he liked this. I kind of got that I might not have been his because as soon as I said I would be doing training, he told me I'm gonna get you over to Kane's fleet, and it was immediate. No, usually most driver managers you've been given somebody they knew I was gonna be a trainer when they gave me to you. So why all of a sudden You're saying I'm going to give you to somebody else's fleet. Most people don't give that away that quick. So that just told me maybe he don't want to deal with this. Okay. Then he called me talking crazy on the phone because the first load they gave me, I'm riding around and have no empty trailers on the lot. The trailers that they did have, I guess they were working on trailers in the shop, and he had me driving around looking for this trailer that wasn't there. And it was a shuttle run. It was like a short shuttle run, and it was like I had to do a trailer move in order to go get another trailer. And I can't remember where because I didn't go very far on that load either. When I start thinking about it, it was like Arkansas. I can't even remember where I went to, but it wasn't a very far run. Oh no, that one was a decent run. They had me go Arkansas, and then I was going to think I was going to Georgia. Well, the load ended up I ended up repowering in Chattanooga, and he gonna call me talking about, well, it was a Tyson load. That's right, because I had to sit and wait for Tyson to load it, so I ended up sleeping on their lot because I was down to like an hour and change left on my clock. He's like, well, you only ran 4 hours, drove this, and I need you to. Who the hell are you talking to? I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, first of all, you need to go back to the beginning of the day. This Jason was talking crazy, and I know you're new. I mean, just talking you down like you're a dog. I mean, this white man was talking to you like shit. So I got quiet, and then I went to that Qualcomm and I wrote up the entire conversation. When I got done putting it on the public Qualcomm, he came back and apologized. Well, I apologize. I didn't mean to be rude. I was just saying that, you had only gone for 4 hours. And I said, and I'm just saying, if you look at hours of servants, which is in your book, which you can go talk to your safety department about, you will see that I can only run a certain number of hours. When I choose this, you're not talking to some new driver, Jason. You're talking to somebody with 6 years experience in this. And I know my hours of service. Now, if you're trying to tell me to go over hours, Jason, then you need to talk to safety, put safety right up in there. Okay. So I don't know what took place, but after that conversation, I didn't hear from Jason anymore. And Jason, a message was sent out, and I got a phone call from a dude named Kane, the guy he told me he was going to be moving me to his fleet. And Kane was saying that Jason went home for the day. So I don't know if my conversation and somebody else was watching his crazy ass in that office and he had to come to Jesus meet, but he had to come to Jesus meet with me. I just started. So I don't have a problem. I'm still in Arkansas. We can smoothly drive this back to your terminal and I can smoothly take my ass back to Lubbock. I'm just saying. I just started. And you're not going to sit up here and talk to me crazy. I'm sorry, guys. It's just craziness. What drivers do out here is already yesterday I child cars almost had almost two little accidents with cars doing shenanigans, and I'm sorry, it's too much risk out here for you already to have the stress of these people in this office who ain't never set their ass in some cases behind the wheel of a truck to have the nerve to talk to you crazy about what you're supposed to be doing. No, 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 and more to hell no. um so Mr. Jason got dismissed. I ended up dealing with Kane, and then I'm like, oh, Kane was extremely professional. The way he spoke to you, he says, I see you're here. Um, he says, and I see we're going to repower. I see that you need maintenance on your truck. He says, do you think you can make it here, or how far do you think you can go? Totally different person. He's asking me, what can you do as the driver? You're a winner. You're a winner. What can you do as a driver in your situation? Tell me what you can do. And then we're going to have to work this out to make that work. That's a good driver manager because what he's doing is working with your skill set. He's working with you understanding hopefully your time. He's giving you respect and dignity. That's a good driver manager. And I'll be honest, he is probably in the short time I've had him, I can tell you he's probably one of the best driver managers I've had at any trucking company, which was why I was originally thinking about, even though my body was saying it's time to go, why I was originally going to stay with them longer up until just now. I was going to actually try to stick it out, but I'm done. And the sad part is I ain't even been here 30. I've been here just under 60 days, and it's been special. But you done shown me. I'm sorry. And we had to have come. Jesus said, "You guys trying to start me out? If I'm not doing my job, tell me." But I started looking at my miles in 10 hours. The day before, I ran 10 hours in like 21 minutes. I ran 528 miles for the day. The whole day was about an 11-hour day, 11 hours some change day on duty. And I ran. I drove 10 hours, 21 minutes, and I ran 528 miles. And that was coming out of Chicago area all the way down to I stopped in Joplin, Missouri. So I was just on the outskirts of Chicago. I know I was past Bolingbrook. Hold on, yeah. Was I past Bolingbrook? Yeah, I was past Bolingbrook. And I came all the way from there into Joplin, Missouri, and I parked it. And so if y'all don't know that, it was I-44. When you come into Missouri, Missouri is hilly, curvy, and it's got some pretty decent grades. And I'm carrying 40,000 pounds. So with that on board, um, I think that's not bad. Anytime to me you break 500 miles in a day, that's a good driving day. Okay. Um, so I'm thinking to myself, am I not doing my job? You got to tell me if I'm not running away. So I told him, I said, I'm 51 years old. Me and Kane had to have a come to Jesus because I don't understand the shuttle stuff that you got me doing. I'm gonna get to that. So I said, I'm 51 years old. If I'm not working for you, I'm not offended. I, I'm not offended because I'm gonna work somewhere else. And if I got to do shuttle shit, I'm gonna do shuttle shit in Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm home more frequently and I can hang with people I know and enjoy my life. I'm not gonna sit out here and do shuttle shit in the middle of Arkansas where I can tell they don't like my people unless I run into my people. And I'm good. I'm gonna go home. I'm not gonna be out here doing this. So getting back to under Jason, um, AD, getting under Jason, Jason, he left. I got Kane on the phone. I hadn't Kane was not my driver manager yet. I got to Chattanooga and the truck had to be set down again. This time, all the repairs that they were supposed to do, the maintenance, all that stuff that was supposed to be done in Texarkana, none of it was either done or recorded. So Chattanooga had to do it. Okay. Chattanooga had to do it. Um, Chattanooga, Tennessee is the parent company. Okay. They purchased this small company that I'm at. And I'm going to say this is a medium sized company because they've got 900 trucks. The company I'm talking to in Arizona has 500 trucks. And actually, I'm going to be doing that application today. They've got 500 trucks. I don't know. We'll see if I can get on there. I have no idea because it was I I gotta see the DOT physical is because I talked to this guy yesterday and I said, "Do I bring my own physical?" He says, "Well, yeah, but we also are going to do a physical." I said, "Okay, well, because I'm thinking, do you need a year-long physical? Because I can redo it because I'm under a year now, and I'm going to be due in April, I think, for my year again." So he goes, yeah, he says, you can bring in, he says, but our safety department requires we do a physical. I said, well, I'm a big girl. I said, and I don't, I'm fat. I said, pretty much I climb in and out the truck. I don't do a lot of, I said, I got, I'm working on going to be doing the weight loss surgery. I said, but I'm not in shape. I'm gonna say, so if y'all asking me to do aerobics, that's not gonna happen. So you need to warn me about that now. Okay. He goes, no, it's a basic, just the basic DOT, but we're required to do it for our safety department. I was like, okay. He says, really, they're checking your blood pressure and some other stuff. I was like, okay. Um, they have an 11 Western, they have regional runs, and they're based in Arizona and California. Those are the two places they're based. Worst case scenario, I'm looking at the bus system in Phoenix, or worst case scenario, going back to these guys, but not the reefer division. I don't have the tolerance for the reefers. Only way I would do reefer for them if it was a dedicated, like a Winco account or one of those. Otherwise, I'm gonna see if they have a regional or something, because I know a couple people over there who are doing like from Arizona to Cali, just doing soda and liquid runs because of tanker endorsement. And they've got me shuttling that crap here. And I'm gonna get to that in a minute because it's getting ready to get real special. So at this point, um, Kane and I talk. I like who he is. And I go ahead and I get to Chattanooga. I'm down. You guys saw me do the whole birthday thing. It was right around my birthday. I started these people on June 21st. I actually have not been to where I've had downtime because I went from the white transportation company in Lubbock right to here. I went right to work. So I had maybe a couple of days in Texas and then like maybe a weekend, and then I was back to work. So that's another thing. It's time for me to get off the truck. I got to call my places in Phoenix and see if I can crash there because originally I was going to get a hotel there, but I don't want to waste money because when I get there, my goal is to look for employment back in Arizona. I do not want to live in Lubbock. I have zero desire to live in Lubbock. And Grumpy is in his BS, and I can't. I'm gonna let that boy go on and be in his BS to his casket. I'm done. You cannot help somebody. Somebody said to me this years ago, you can't help people who don't want to be helped. Monty don't want to be helped. He like being in his craziness. Let him be in his craziness. Um, and it's sad because he probably in that car he's gonna hit somebody with them brakes bad. Um, or he's not going to stop. He's going to hurt himself. I don't know. It's not my problem. That's you come to a point where it's just not your damn problem. Um, but Kane turned around and he told me, he says, and I did my relay there. Dropped the trailer, took the paperwork into this office, this building. They didn't come back to me. Well, where'd you take and where it's supposed to? Got the girl's name, everything. I said, this the person I gave it to. They couldn't find the paperwork. I don't know what they worked out. I didn't care. Again, I'm a person that once I've done my part, I've come to the point I don't worry about it no more. Because if it gets lost in the mix, especially in trucking, that's on you. It's not on me. Um, that's why you CYA. Get the name of who you give stuff to, get the name of who you take stuff, and call it a day. I turned around. Um, I turned around and I took my day there. Then next thing I know, Jason was back on the phone. He was back. I think it was when did he come back? Oh no, they had given me a load, and Jason had been out the office for several days. I interacted with Jason on the Qualcomm. No more phone conversations with him because he was gonna have me cuss him out. So I'm trying to not go there. So I did Qualcomm because also the way Jason was talking, I want to make sure you want to talk crazy. Let's see if you write crazy because you can't argue with how you're interacting. You can sit there and lie about, oh, that never happened. I never said that on a call because I don't know if you're recording the call or not. So at that point, Bill Trucker Bill's like, well, they have to record. I don't know what they have to. I know I used to work for phone companies and I know that recordings can be deleted. So but what's on this Qualcomm, federal government requires, and the other thing is I can always take pictures of what's on the Qualcomm. I'm a big click picture person. I will take pictures of the stuff on the Qualcomm. I will, yes, I will. I still got pictures from this company of stuff on the Qualcomm. I got pictures of other companies I worked for from the Qualcomm, the stuff broken on the truck that they refused to fix. Yes, I do. I I am a CYA when it comes to stuff. Um, So I ended up back on the phone with old boy, with crazy Jason, and I told him, look, or not on phone, on the Qualcomm. I said, look, you told me that you were going to be switching me to Kane's fleet because he handled trainers and teams. I said, let's get that switch done. Okay. I said, let's go ahead and get that switch done. He goes, oh, I'll go talk to him and see if I can. No, 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 ain't no see. I said, well, if you can't get it done, then you need to put me in contact with who can get it done. And I'm going to make that happen, but I'm coming off of your fleet because I interacted with Kane while you were out of the office, and his communication style works much better with mine. Next thing I know, bam, it was, I don't even know, it wasn't even 20 minutes. I was on my way with a load. Next thing I know, that load was being canceled off me. I was on a phone call with Kane, and Kane said, and well, actually, I was receiving a new load. I went and picked up something, had to go to Walmart, came back in under Kane. And I said, am I switched over to you? He says, yes, you are. I said, you know what? Yes, I know who you are. I said, okay. That told me they had to come to Jesus meeting because it was about to be lit. Go under Kane, like him. Feel comfortable talking to him. I say what's on my mind, and that's who I am. I'm not a tip to Malou kind of person. I don't. I want to say what's on my mind and go on. I'm not going to try to be disrespectful, but I'm also at a point at 51. I'm not about no bunch of BS. I'm just not. Um, at this point, I'm doing a Kane. I said, keep me running through the weekend. Then I had, I've had just drama. I got a good run going to, what was that, going to Florida. Truck broke down on the way in. So now you have to be careful because they can do what I call, they can look at it and say, well, we don't know if the equipment is good. So then they only keep you, they can do what I call these little runs because they know this the equipment might be questionable. Well, then get me into something newer, get me into something better if that's the case. Or there's some underlying things that trucking don't say that you have to kind of read between the lines and understand how they work. So if they know they have a driver that's in a piece of equipment that they're just trying to keep going, then that might be it. I don't know. Um, but then we broke down in Georgia. So after that, then they started giving me these shuttle runs again. And so I had to have a come to Jesus meeting. I said, Kane, look, y'all told me you couldn't get me in another truck, a newer truck, because supposedly y'all ain't got newer trucks. What you do have, I already understand the game of the new truck thing. You want me to stay in this truck because you guys have these trucks out here. You still are running in your fleet. You don't want them sitting, and you don't want to just put drivers in new trucks and you want to give the new trucks to certain people. You already have allotted what you're going to do. And I'll be honest, I think I was supposed to be in a new truck. Um, one of the gentlemen in my classroom was related to somebody, from what I understand, who's in assignment of the trucks, and he ended up in the brand new 2020 Freightliner, and I ended up in this one. In the classroom, uh, the guy who had asked me to train told me you need to learn that new Qualcomm because it's going to be the new Qualcomm. Well, the new Qualcomm was only in the new trucks, but I think that what happened behind the scenes, family took care of family, and old boy was family. He was coming back to the company. He ended up in the new 2020 truck, and that's fine. I don't care because everything's happening for a reason. My time with them was only meant to be limited. I realized this is probably just a bridge. It's one of them bridges, and God is saying direct your ass back to Phoenix. Um, It's like I can't win. Um, at this point, the truck had been broke down. I'm like, look, are y'all trying to starve me out? Because I'm not understanding. I had the issue with the trailer. And Monet said you've got too much downtime going on, and I'm like, yes, I've been down 30 days too much in this truck, and checks between 300 and 500. I told Kane, I said, honey, I was making 26 cents a mile with Swift back in 2010, and I ain't seen money like this since then. I left the industry and went back to a corporate job because that was not enough money per week. I'm sorry, it wasn't. I love driving. I understand maybe a new driver coming out here and making this, but I am 6 years in the game. No accidents, no incidents. You guys asked me to train. I didn't come to you and ask to be a trainer. You came to me. Okay. So that tells you what kind of experience, hey Chicago, BBW, that tells you what kind of experience, good morning, baby, what kind of experience you got. So don't come up in here with the BS. So Kane then says, let me talk to management. And he says, we're not trying to starve you out. He says, oh, we're having some problems with the load board. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I sat with broke down on this equipment. Then I took a trailer in that needed repairs, ended up sitting the whole weekend with this trailer. They told the company that they had fixed the trailer at the main. It's just too much. And Trucker Bill, well, I ain't gonna say how he said it, but he told me what I was gonna be dealing with working for companies out of this area of the country. Basically, he don't have high regards for certain areas of the country. I don't like to generalize anything, but I will say that sometimes when I'm in certain areas of the country, I notice that the work ethic is not as good. So when you get sometimes into your southern and Midwest areas, there's a different work ethic. They just it ain't the same as the hustle on the East Coast. It ain't the same as the hustle on the West Coast. And you take your hand, put it in there, and eat the pork chop. I'm talking about what's that? Little Rock, Arkansas, Petro. I done seen some. I sat and watched a woman put her hand in there, no glove, pull out a pork chop and start eating it, working behind the counter of the little deli. And I said, my people, and only in Arkansas. But there's other areas that'll do that too. Just G Fab. G Fab. Well, maybe you D. What I done seen has been pretty damn scary. Jacqueline Norwood, welcome to the channel. And I ain't trying to be mean. Like I said, I don't like to. I think there's exceptions to rules everywhere. I mean, in Arizona, you're gonna find some people. I got cousins. They lazy as hell. They would be those kind of people. They lazy as hell. They don't want to work. They trifling. And they money's people. They're my father's people. I got on my father's side, we got some trifling people that live all over the country. Got a bunch of them in Arizona. Yes, I do. And they trifling. They don't want to work. They want to live on the system. And when they do work, they trifling. Just trifling. Okay, no hustle. One of my cousins, she got on her Facebook, she working on disability, meaning that she working on having disability for the rest of her life. That's what she want. She want to do shit. And the baby is younger than me. Actually, I changed her diaper, so I'm old enough to be a damn mama. Anyway, um, and I'm talking about southern area. I can't talk about the upper Midwest. I'm talking about the southern Midwest area. So your southern state, Arkansas, uh, Alabama, Mississippi, maybe some of Georgia too. I think you got some Georgia that's hustle, but other Georgia that's not. So I'm talking about them southern areas that it has some racial issues in Denver. Be honest, and then even treatments as females. And I'm going to say here at this terminal back in 2009, and when I did my refresher training, especially going through the maintenance department, was horrid. They were just horrid. It was bad. There were certain terminals I didn't jack with. And I'll be honest, you would expect that of Utah, but Utah and Arizona and Lancaster, Texas were probably the best and most professional terminals I dealt with when it came to maintenance issues. Um, and Europa would fall in there probably second. Well, now Europa was okay. Europa was okay. Europa's Cali. So Cali always just they about business. They do their money. So actually, I would put them in there too. I think about it. Yeah. So Europa, Texas, Lancaster, Phoenix, and Utah before they started the whole Night Swift merger were top. They were probably my favorite places to go. Wisconsin actually initially did a phenomenal job on one of my trucks. Wisconsin had a little terminal, and that guy was I don't know who did he did top to bottom on that. Everything needed to be when I got done. There was stuff done I didn't even ask. I'm like, oh, Wisconsin was a small little hole in the wall terminal, but they did a really good job. But that was it. Anyway, getting to the everything going on. So after the whole trailer incident with the cabling, I put the picture up. I noticed they had me doing these little short hops, and I'm like, I have to call him. I'm like, and then they gave me a run that was like, it wasn't even 100 miles. Like, what the Sam hell is going? Cody don't show up. Got the run still. I run the load. They even gave me some time on the load, and I realized I was gonna have to do some what they call if you guys know your clock. I was gonna have to be rolling hours or recapping. So even with the recaps, I had the time to get it in. The load had 8/8 due. It says 00 to 00, so it usually means you have an open window of the whole day. So it had to be in there by the way I was looking at it, had to be in there by midnight. The way they were routing me, it was gonna route me like some crazy way where I was gonna have to come back through Texarkana, fuel there, and I'm like, that's just it was adding on extra stuff, and I'm like, no, there was a shorter route, and it would have got me quicker. I had to come down US 6975 in Oklahoma, but it was shorter coming through the Missouri area instead of going the way they had me going back through Ark. It was craziness. So I did that because I'm coming out of Wisconsin, I'm dropping out of Chicago, go through Missouri, come on down through Missouri through the Joplin area and drop down into Oklahoma and drop 6975 US Highway down into Texas and then take that on down and drop into Laredo. Well, everything's going copacetic until yesterday. And I had told it was weird because I told Danielle I'm gonna stick it out a little bit longer. I normally give every company 90 days. I'm gonna go ahead and give these guys a chance. They're starting to come with the miles. I'm gonna go ahead and give them the time that they need. Let's see how they do. They starting to call me about trainees. Eventually, hopefully I'll get a decent trainee on here, but I'll see how they do. Okay. Now I've only offered me two trainees. I had crazy 2 hour boy. And then I got Cody who never got on the truck and who missed the bus, whatever the hell was going on with the bus. Well, I hear nothing from Kane. Kane ain't bothering me. Nobody's saying anything. Everything's good. Everything's going okay. I got my load. I'm running. I get up and get dressed, go and drive my load. I get to the Johnsonville to get loaded. There was a little bit of delay there. They didn't have the product ready when I first got there. Um, Go ahead. Johnsonville gets me loaded. And you won't even know just to get to Johnsonville was a nightmare because they have the road going up there has closures on it. And there's no clear signage in Wisconsin on how to detour in the area. So, be honest, I even had a road that that it went down. That part of it, the truck probably shouldn't have went down. Thank God I was empty. Um, but there was no signage until when you went to go back, and then all of a sudden it says no trucks over certain. So then I had to detour a different way. But got up into Johnsonville, got loaded, headed out, knocked out my miles, drove then knocked out the next day. Well, I would have been in Laredo probably early this afternoon. Okay. And let's go to this drama. So yesterday I go and I stopped at Petro in Joplin. First time I ever I knew it was there. I just never parked at it. So it was the first time I ever parked at that Petro. And parked at that Petro, got me something to eat, came, went to sleep, got up. Hey MJ, what's up? Um, Parked, went to sleep, got up, and when I got up, there was a message from a Rochelle on my Qualcomm, and Rochelle said there's some kind of temperature, getting some kind of alarm or alert from the reefer. I get, put my outside shorts on, um, jump out the truck, go look, 2828. I don't have no alarms, no nothing. I get back in the truck and send her a message saying, Rochelle, I don't see anything. I don't see no alarms. I don't see nothing. I go ahead and get back into bed because I still have an hour or so on my clock. I go back to bed, go to sleep, get back up, and then next thing I know, I got messages from Rochelle talking about we're gonna repower your load. Excuse me? My 1,049-mile run, you gonna repower? I said, we're gonna repower it, and we want you to repower it in Dallas, Texas. At this point, I'm like sitting up here, and then they're gonna give me a run from Dallas, Texas to Fort Worth. Y'all, that ain't but 40 miles. I pick up the phone. I call Kane's number. It defaults to this Rochelle chick. I said, Rochelle, where's Kane? He's on vacation. So while he's on vacation, you starting to F with my miles. Oh, we're done. I'm lit. And I lit right into her. I said, Rochelle, I said, let me give you my information. I said, and she's, oh no, I know who you are. I said, oh, okay. I said, Rochelle, because she just sent me all the stuff to my Qualcomm. I said, Rochelle, what is going on with your company? I said, why are you taking this? I said, I said, I can be in there tomorrow. I'm not late on the run. So I'm not understanding why you're taking this run from me. She goes, oh, we have someone who needs to get to Laredo. We have a driver who needs to get to Laredo. So I'm presuming they're doing home time. I said, okay, I'm okay with they need to go home. But why the hell are you giving me a 40-mile run? I said, I'm not understanding this. I said, what are you guys doing? And I said, first of all, me and Kane just had this come to Jesus meeting. I said, and me and you about to have a come to Jesus meeting. 40 miles, you're taking, I'm gonna get I would have lost 400, I think 400 miles left on the run from where they're taking it in Dallas. I think it was like 400 some miles left on the run and after from Dallas. Because from Dallas to Laredo, I'm gonna estimate it's 400 miles. Okay, about 369, maybe 400 miles. So I'm gonna lose 400 miles on the run. You don't take that from me and give me a 40-mile run. You take that from me to help another driver and give me another 400 or more mile run. And so I said, "What are you doing?" Well, we're gonna give you. I said, to do a day run? Are you?" So at this point, I said. I said, "Ma'am, I gotta get a phone with you because I'm hot right now. Y'all, I don't know what the hell y'all doing. I just started with your company, and this is some insanity." So at this point, I told her, I said, "I'm trying to go home, and y'all sending me home because I'm not making no money with you people with hardly any money in my pocket. This is some bull crap." I said, "I got 6 years accident free. You guys asked me to be a trainer, and you come in with BS on the runs? What the hell is going on?" So I got off. I had to calm down. I called Danielle. Then Nikki called me, and Nikki was going through some drama at her company. So we shared the drama. Nikki said, "Dog, you done stayed longer than I would have." She said, I'm done. I'm done." So at this point, I go ahead and I said, "Shannon, you're not doing what you normally would do. Try to go chain of command," which I normally at most companies, these trucking companies, I don't think they really give a damn. We're a dime a dozen of them. They don't care. Even with the shortage, they don't care. They don't care. We're going to keep doing our effed up stuff. I guess cut nose off, spite face, stay in our BS like Grumpy. Do you, homie? I'm going to go do me somewhere else. Um, Tracy, good morning. So at this point, I talked to Danielle. Danielle's at a new company. She's like, "Oh, they're great people. I love you, Danielle." But Danielle ain't been there long enough to know whether they're really good people. I mean, there may be nice people at the door. It's like when I was at the company in Lubbock. Everybody in the office, even the guy who was kind of a jerk on the phone, everybody seemed to be cordial and nice, decent folk. But once you start interacting and the business part gets done, you start finding out how the one guy who owns the company and is a dispatcher, how he interacts, and it's annoying. And so unless you wanna deal with that annoyingness, some people are willing to put up with that. I can't. It's stressful, and I'm always on my, defense mode and always in check status with him because I'm just at that point, I'm too old, I'm tired, and I don't want you talking to me crazy. It's unnecessary. And to treat drivers like you just came up off the farm and you ain't got no sense, like I told Cody, even Cody, who was a little more slower. I wasn't going to have him on this truck and try to be disrespectful. I wasn't. Even the crazy ass who was on my truck trying to talk to me crazy. I talked to that man so calm, so politely, and in a professional manner. When I didn't go and cuss him out, I'm not going to do that. I'm 51 years old. And if I have to get to that point, we need to get you off the truck, which is what happened. I got him off the truck calmly because he was crazy. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not. I'm too old to be stressed out about dumb stuff, and these people have me stressed now because you're messing with my money and you're coming with BS. Okay. Even Swift, I would have making more money than this. I'm like crazy as hell. So at this point, I leave a voicemail for. I asked for the my managers because he's out of my driver manager's boss, which is a lady name I think Trish. I leave her a detailed voicemail and tell her and say basically what I just told y'all, ma'am, I'm 6 years in this game. Was referred in. I gave her who referred me in because my guy who referred me in says she knows them. I told him this is who referred me into the company. Apparently, he raved about you. I saw your equipment over the road. I was impressed with how well taken your reefers were in comparison to where I come from. I said, I'm not gonna be out here busting rust, breaking my back, all these broken behind trailers. They've got some minor stuff going on with theirs, but for the most part, when I hook to a trailer, I'm not worried about brakes usually. Brakes work, landing gear is greased. Mainly what I've run into with them is like I said, the one that had the cabling and stuff hanging from them, they need to do that. It was throwing some codes on the reefer, and that is something going on internally. Um, they couldn't fix that right then. They came out, cut that long cable because you don't want that hanging down there. DOT would have ripped my behind up so far because that get caught up in your drive axles or in oh, what's that? It could be caught up in there and cause a problem. So that had to be cut off. And I mean that thing was probably as long as I am tall. So I'm about 5 foot something. It was a long butt cable. Um, Other than that, as far as their trailers are concerned, I like the way they maintain them. If there's an issue, usually when you go to the terminal, they shut it down, and I like that as well. Um, don't like the fact I've been broke down in this a couple of times. I haven't had any problems recently with the truck. Um, But I had a problem with the reefer I had yesterday, and me and that reefer were together for I had that reefer for about 4 or 5 days. So, yesterday, it came to a head because you took the rest of my run and you left me with a run that's going from Dallas to Fort Worth. If y'all ain't familiar, that's right up the street. It's 40-mile difference. Hey, Cammy, it's a 40-mile difference. And you gonna take 400 miles from me and give me 40 miles. I left her a message. Well, God don't kind of like ugly. He don't. And so after that, and I think it was also because I was looking at staying longer, but I think it's time for me to go. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna stay in trucking. I don't know. I've got to call my place sis when I get home because her daughter just got hired at a financial company, and I have a financial background. They're pretty new to Arizona, and I think she just started like 18 bucks an hour. I would probably have to come back in entry level, which I hate, but it's okay. But they've got growth opportunities, so I'm looking at it. I'm gonna be talking to her, and I'm gonna possibly put a resume in there. I also did reach out to a local trucking company there. Well, local meaning that they're there, but they're 11 Western and they have some regional stuff. I talked to a gentleman named Gabriel yesterday because after all this happened, I started making my phone calls. And then Nikki has been kind enough that if I do get back to Arizona and I need some place to stay, she's even offered for me to crash there. So, I mean, and just to get to, to get to some employment. So I've got an option. I'm going to try my places first because Nikki has not really met me. I know her cousin, but we haven't physically met. We've been just communicating over the phone. Um, but I'm getting me and Nikki were talking about how burnout we are. We both love driving trucks. I actually thoroughly enjoy it, but I am burnout on the game of trucking. And it's a depressing game that these people are playing with your livelihood and your lives. And it's disgusting. It really is. And like I said, it's disgusting. But let me go on and finish up. So yesterday ended up with me going off there, talking to the guy who referred me in, who also has interactions with the terminal manager. He talked to the terminal manager, gave the terminal manager my information. I did not hear back from the terminal manager, nor did I hear back from the the fleet supervisor over my driver manager. Neither called me back. What did happen was Rochelle, the lady who initially, hey Judy Drone, Rochelle, the lady who's covering for my driver manager's fleet, what did happen is that she turned around and told me that the lady who's over my driver manager was working on getting me some miles. Well, while all that was taking place, she got another alert on the reefer. I get out and there is an alert on the reefer. This time, an alarm code, the reefer starts auto shutting off. Hey, Jennifer, the reefer starts auto shutting itself down and it defaults itself into start stop mode. It is having what's called a refrigeration, some kind of something was wrong with the refrigeration unit. Well, the Johnsonville sausage is supposed to be kept at 28 degrees. This thing dropped down to 40. So I immediately got up there and, just on my experience, I started messing with it. You wipe the codes and then you try to reset it back to continuous. I did that, went into the thing, went to the bathroom. I had communicated with them though what I had done. Went to the bathroom, got a sandwich, came back out, and I said, "Look, you guys say that you got two alerts on this unit. I didn't see anything on the first alert, and I'm still doing my job, even though I'm getting screwed over. Okay, still trying to do my job as best ability and try to save this load for these people because it's going to Mexico. I don't want the Mexico folks to get bad food. I don't. Okay, I'm d- that's just my work ethic, and it's just who I am as a person. So I don't just because you a-holes, see other people, other drivers would have said, "Oh, y'all playing with miles?" Parked that truck right there, got off that truck, got a Greyhound from Joplin, and went home, or a plane, or drove, or whatever, and left their truck sitting right there with the reefer load going bad. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. Even when I leave, the truck will be spick and span when I leave this truck. So at this point, I turn around. JJ, he calls the guy at the company we're at. He talks to him. No call back from him. That tells me exactly where you're at. Uh, I get no call from this Trish lady. Nothing from her. All I get is Rochelle saying, and next thing I know, they cancel some stuff, and then they put me on a what did she put me on? They put me on a run to Georgia. So I was picking something up out of Dallas that's supposed to go to Georgia. But I don't even know if that could happen. Hey King, what's up? I didn't even know if that was going to actually be able to happen. And the reason I didn't know if that was even going to be able to happen is because now I'm throwing codes on the reefer. So initially, I sent them a message. I said, "Look, this is the second time this happened. Do you guys want me to continue on to Dallas, or do you guys want this trailer seen somewhere locally? Because my mind is already telling me we got a problem. If you two two issues on a reefer, any other company, Swift would have told me right then and there, Shannon, let's find a shop to get that trailer to call breakdown, or they would have already been into my driver manager at Swift. She would have already been Shannon call breakdown and get that Becca would have been like, no, because it's logic. Her husband's a driver too, but she's in the reefer division. She's been in long enough, and if you do reefer, you already know it's logical. We need to go ahead and get that truck. We need to get that trailer. The dispatch manager, this Rochelle chick, gonna say, well, go ahead and head to Dallas and just keep an eye on it. And I just kind of looked. I said, let me go to the bathroom. So when I went to the bathroom, came back out, damn thing went back into shutdown mode, alarm code again. At this point, I'm skipping this person I'm dealing with because I'm figuring she don't know what the hell she doing. I sent a message on there. I've just got the third time that I said this is the second time I've seen an alarm code. I'm on the phone with Breakdown. I call Breakdown. I get a hold of Summer. Liked her. She was cool. Telling her what's going on. She said, they told you what? I said, She said, I said, I already know. Everybody's in their own box. All dispatch cares about is getting that load to whatever. Hopefully it don't go bad, but my goal is just to get it to wherever. You got to come outside your box. I talked to Summer. Summer's like, okay. She's like, well, here's the bad part. We got to get that truck to a carrier dealer or the trailer to a carrier dealership. She said, but there's only two carrier. She says there's three carriers surrounding you: Springfield, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma. The closest one took me backwards to Springfield. Okay, 80 miles, hour and a half. The next closest takes me into Oklahoma City, 2.5 to 3 hours away. Okay, and it was going to take me a little further away. Well, I still could drop down into Dallas from Oklahoma. So she's like, let me talk to my supervisor. She puts me on hold, talks to her supervisor. She then says, she comes back on the phone. She said, what we did is we sent a message to dispatch. We're going to go into agreement on this as to whether we're going to take the risk to send you to Oklahoma City en route to where you're going, or to the repower, or whether we're going to send you backwards to Springfield. Okay. They ended up sending me backwards to Springfield because they didn't want to lose a Johnson load. Okay. Hour and a half, and it did the alert again. It did it like four times after when I from when they first started bothering about it. So I ended up now part of my day having to go all the way to Springfield, Missouri, which was an hour and a half, 80 miles from where I was. I went backwards there, took it into the carrier dealership, of which that was kind of special. It was right behind where Prime is at. Um, and that's why I said it's time. Yesterday kind of did it for me all the way around between them and the load and even my treatment at carrier. So when I got into carrier, you can kind of tell when folks don't like us. I walked in and I saw there was this white man. I didn't see nobody like me in this shop. Okay, there was none of me in this shop. If it was, they was up in the office somewhere hiding. It wasn't none of me. I didn't see a Latino. I saw all the pink Anglo folk. And so when I walk up, I'm always cordial because again, I didn't grow up in I grew up on both sides of the track. I didn't grow up in just predominantly black folks. I grew up in a very diverse area. Tempe is a very diverse city. Um, so I spoke. I was like, "Hi, how are you doing today?" And he just looked at me, didn't even speak. I'm like, okay." And the look he gave me was like dirty, like I was a piece of dog dookie. Walked in there. Then I talked to the guy behind the counter. I said, "Sir, before I get into this, may I use your restroom?" He said, "Hold on 1 minute." I guess he had to call somebody to say, "I'm letting a woman into the woman's restroom." He's like, "Hey, I'm giving your key out to the restroom." And I heard the lady say, "Okay." And he handed me a key on a boat. And so I, went to the restroom, came back out, and I said hello, told him who I was with. And this dude who didn't speak, his name was Doug. Doug was sitting in a chair. Well, he was working behind the counter, and Doug was just giving me like this evil eye, dirty look. So I turned my body towards Doug. I said, "Good morning, Doug." Good morning. I called him out right there. This racist, whatever this is, oh my God, people. So I was like, this is, I can't. So Doug then went and he sat in the chair and he looked at me and rolled his eyes. And I turned towards him. I said, "So, Doug, how's your day going?" Put his ass on the spot. Part of me wanted to go, "Doug, do you not like my people? Because I noticed you done rolled your eye." I didn't do that. I just went ahead and I was kind. I was nice. And finally, he got out the chair and walked out. Okay. God don't like ugly. So then this other guy came in. His name was Tony, and Tony is the guy who handles. And the guy who helped me initially, he says, "We don't have anything from your company yet." I said, "Okay." So I said, "Let me call." I had to call breakdown. I got another lady on the phone, Lisa, and Tony had come in, and Tony handles the service, and the other guy handled parts. So the service guy comes in. His name's Tony, and Tony comes in, and I hand him my phone. He talks to Lisa. Lisa gives him all the details. And he says, "Come on around the corner and come behind the counter." And he has me come to his desk, and I go ahead and sign off on the paperwork. He says, "What I'm gonna have you do, we just move this trailer out your way. Go ahead and pull it into the bay." He said, "I'm gonna need you to drop it and just sit in front of it." I said, "Okay, no problem." So dropped, pulled in, and who had to work on my trailer? Mr. Doug. Doug had to work on it. Yes, he did. A hole. So Doug worked on the trailer. I was there. They actually ended up having the issue was a sensor, but they had to, and I'd never seen it done. It was kind of cool to watch. I got a picture of it. They had to physically take the reefer off of the truck, off of the trailer, hang it down, and go into the back of it. So I have no idea how that worked on that load, but I'm not the one taking it to Mexico now, so it's okay. Repowered. So I got that done, and I started headed towards Dallas. I dropped down onto US 69 and I just really took my time. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't rushing the crap. So I was tired, I'm irritated. I got as far as the Choctaw Casino. I got to under an hour. There's a lot of construction. I thank God they're finally working on US 6975. But it is a lot of construction going on redoing these roads out here. US 6965 has been a hard road for years, even back in 2010 when I first started in trucking, and they're actually redoing it finally. But I had a lot of construction coming in. I take my time on that. Plus, on top of that, I believe I didn't see the inside of the load. They sealed it immediately. They had me pull out, and the guy went back there, closed them doors, and sealed that trailer. So I didn't even get to see the inside of the trailer. He sealed it so fast. But I believe it was top heavy. I know it was 40,000, and I could see when I take corners, I'd lean real heavy. So I take corners and curves really light, especially when I haven't seen how the load is loaded. And I went. So last night I got here and I got as far as Choctaw, sent a message to them, and I told them I'm having to shut down here. I wasn't going to make Dallas for the swap. Well, I guess sometime in the night, because I really was tired, I came right to the bed. I guess they sent a message to Qualcomm talking about where is your location. You got a damn satellite on this. You shouldn't have to ask me where the location is. You know where the location. I told them what city I was shutting down in. There's only one place in the city that I'm shutting down, and you can see where the satellite view is. I don't know. I would by that time I was asleep. I don't even know. And then this morning about let's see, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, about 4 o'clock in the morning, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, somebody was knocking on my truck, and it was the guy who's repairing the load. They sent the people from Dallas to come pick the load up off the truck. So I had to go back, and when I did that, I went back on duty. I went on duty, not driving, because I have to get out the truck. I have to swap paperwork. I'm breaking sleeper berth, and with these people, I'm getting ready to take it by the book. Um, normally most drivers we repower and we don't take ourselves out of sleeper berth. We go on and stay on that. That's not what you're legally supposed to do on your log. You legally, if you break sleeper berth and you have to repower a load, legally you're supposed to hours of service. You're supposed to put yourself on duty. So I had to go back on duty. It was about 10 minutes. Drop the trailer, switch the to this other trailer. I haven't even looked inside this other trailer. Um, and then like I said, there was supposed to be a Georgia load on me. I don't have anything. I'm only down. I'll have 10 hours left on my 70 clock. And tonight I can't remember what I was bringing back tonight. I have to get up and look. Hold on, y'all. Let me go look. Ah, yeah, yeah. Trying to get out this bunk. Hold on. I lay it down because I want the phone to fall over. Uh, status. I have exactly 10 hours on my 70-hour clock. Uh, I bring back 8 hours and 55 minutes tonight and 4 hours and 52 minutes. So I finally just told him, go ahead, just let me reset. Let me reset. I'll reset. I didn't get me a decent run. I ain't heard from nobody. Hold on, yo. Whew. So hold on, I'm trying to get myself comfy. I don't know if y'all can see me. Can y'all see me? So I ain't heard from nobody. Um, there's a message on there, but normally if it's a message directed back to me, it shows up on here. I'll have to go look and see. I haven't even looked at it, but I haven't heard from anybody. Um, and I told myself just let's reset because I didn't get me a decent run. I got 10 hours left. That would have been enough time to get this load into Laredo. And but at this point, I've already decided based on everything, no callbacks. Uh, the whole taking of, and then like I said, they tried to come back with something that was supposed to be a 789-mile run to Georgia. That's not even showing up again now. I don't know. I don't even care anymore. I'm just like, get me home to Phoenix so I can get all my stuff off your truck, and then we're gonna work out getting you your truck. Um, I have home time next week on Friday or Thursday. I'm supposed to be in Phoenix on Thursday. So at this point, just give me my little whatever I got left, and then I'm gonna make up my arrangements. Today, I'm gonna spend my time doing this application and getting that done and sent out to this man, and I'm done from there. And I'm out. If I get that, that's fine. If not, like I said, I do have a corporate background. I have no problem going back into corporate. And the worst case scenario, there is a bus system that is right up from my place is. I can reapply there. I got on at the Tempe one, but Tempe's a little further. Um, Tempe's a little further, and I'm not going there. Danielle's like, "Oh, come over here." Danielle's on a 1099. Here's my view about 1099. The only way I want to be on a 1099 is if I'm doing a lease purchase. I have zero desire to work for a owner operator. I have zero desire to work for a very, very small organization. And there's people that works for that works for your situation. In trucking, you've got to find what works for you. If that works for your situation, I I can't. I can't. It's gonna have to be a really incredible small business for me to go work for somebody on a 1099. I just and I just don't see it. Um, there's too many possible issues with working for small owner ops, and me and Nikki are going to get into that because Nikki is the one had asked me to drive for her, but Nikki found out on her own the ups and downs, and I said, now if I was your driver, how would you have been able to handle that situation? And see, that's where you get into your catch 22s because if your money is going into all these repairs on your truck or on the reefer, and you got a driver who's out there stranded, then um you're going to have you're going to have issues. Also, maintenance of equipment. So it's going to be a little harder for a company who's small, who's starting out, or who may only have a certain um, they only have a certain level in their pockets that they can go to handle their stuff. And me and Danielle probably need to sit down and talk about her former guy, because that was kind of situation. She's working, I think, again under another 1099, and this guy started telling her she was costing him money, paying her. Well, then you need to get your ass in the truck and drive your own truck, because if you can't afford to pay a driver, that's a problem. It's not me. That's your business decision. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant when I go work for small owner op people. And I'm also, my question is, can you maintain your equipment in a good manner? Those are huge for me. And so a lot of these people out here who are either trying to start their own little small fleets, while I get it and I understand, and everybody has to start somewhere when you're trying to be an entrepreneur, it can be there can be issues if you're a driver working for somebody like that, because then you're going to have to really have, and Danielle's got a big heart, she really does, and she will work with people. But my heart ain't that big when it comes to business. It's just, I'm sorry, I've got Bill has what he calls the good brother trucking fraternity motto, and I'm gonna try to quote it, and I'm sorry it does have some cuss words in it. He said, "Your truck is broke, f you, pay me. Your load is late, F you, pay me. Whatever the problem is with your truck, I done did my job. With your load, I done did my job. Interacting with the customer, I done did my job. Therefore, F you, pay me." So, in his world, you need to handle all your other shiznit going on. I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability with the tools you gave me, but you need to pay me at the end of the day. The good brother trucking fraternity motto, quote unquote, per trucker bill. Hilarious, but I gets it. Because it's just like yesterday. I got there and I sat and I had to go deal with they reefer unit with the sensor issue on it. Okay. I got pictures. I always take pictures. So I let them know on the Qualcomm. They had to remove the whole entire refrigeration unit from the truck. That means while he was working on it, wasn't nothing keeping that load cold. And I don't want these people to lie and tell you, oh no, we never took the reefer unit down. Click. I took a picture. Because I don't know if they got approval from the company to do that with that product on there. And if they get down to the border and somebody goes temperature control, although they might not care because it's going into Mexico. Let's be real. We want to, we look at some groups and cultures, substandard, and we want to, let's be real. I've been in this industry back when they used to send the crappy trailers over to Mexico. They wouldn't send them decent trailers. They sent them the most raggedy trailers they had. Okay, on purpose, because it was going into Mexico and they felt the Mexicans would tear it up. Maybe they would. I don't know. But they used to not send the good trailers. Finally, finally, Mexico, I forgot, they made something where they told them, no, we're not going to take your crap no more. If you send these trailers, we're gonna have a certain standard of trailers. So now when you go take your trailers, they actually are checking. When I was working with Swift, before a trailer went into Mexico, we had to go to the Swift yard in El Paso and another place in Lancaster, or excuse me, in Laredo. And they had to do some kind of certification on that trailer before it went into Mexico, because Mexico got tired of the American trucking companies sending their most raggedy pieces of equipment over to Mexico. And again, I don't know whether Mexico is messing with the trailers or not. I don't know, but I understood it because you basically have profiled me. Hold on, y'all. Ugh, ugh. Get my fat butt up. Every time I move, the phone might fall, and I want my phone to fall. Whew, okay, there we go. Hold on. I'm trying to get comfy. Better. All right, better. Better. All right. So at this point, I'm done. I was real pissed yesterday. I'm starting to calm down. I got to make some phone calls today, which I'm gonna make here in a few minutes. Um, I'm done. Shannon's done. I'm over it. So only like I told Joe, I said when I come to Phoenix, we're gonna get everything off the truck with the exception of one bag, if necessary. Um, I think well I'll have some other plans. And then if everything goes well, I'll either go to this little trucking company in Arizona or I'll be looking at the bus system there in Arizona. And I'm talking about local bus, like the buses for the people that get on the bus. Um, or I'm seeing about possibly getting on with my niece's company. The other issue is there is a company there in which Joe has a friend that worked who had asked about me. It's another financial company and American Express. They had asked the lady is a manager there and she had asked how I was doing out here and whether I was looking at staying on the road because she could use someone like me. And it's a work from home. The thing is that my place is if I stayed with her, um, her internet is not a very strong internet. She's very frugal, so she gets the cheapest internet possible. And so I would either have to give her some money to bump her internet speed up. Um, I'll have to say I thought about doing it from Grumpy's place and going back to Lubbock if I did American Express, but I just cannot be in that house with that piss. And being in there with him is just almost as irritating as working for the white guy, the white transport. The guy's name is not White. His name is Michael. The name of the company is White, and that is not even his last name. He's, but the company's called White. It's called the White's Transportation. That was the name of the company. And like I said, everybody was cool up to, and I don't even think he's a bad guy. I think that's just who he is. Who people are is usually derivative of who we were raised as. So obviously, it's just like everybody. A lot of people, you have those who like Trump, who those who don't. Those who like him for the reasons that they feel that he supports their lot in life, but those who don't like him because of some of the crazy stuff he says. And I look at Trump and I tell my best friend, I feel sorry for him. I really, honestly, from my heart, I feel sorry for him because you don't get to be a compulsive liar, pervy, stirring pot, doing that kind of stupid stuff. He's just like Monty. Him and Monty, even though my father's black, him and Trump remind me exactly of each other. Narcissistic, pervy, old, set in their way, grown males. They not even grown men. They grown males. They stroking their own dick. They want to feel important. They do crazy ish. And I feel sorry for him because there's something that happened to you in your rearing. So usually who we become is really a direct impact of how we were reared or weren't reared because we got a lot of people who aren't raised right now. And that's why we got a lot of crazy behind people out here. Hey, she bring girl, she bring hit me up with your number. I'm talking to another lady about tanker. Oh, so that's the other thing. If I do stay in the trucking, I am looking at going tanker. Um, I actually had the pleasure of talking to a young lady, or not, well, I'm saying young lady. She'll probably be happy I said that. Her name is Cherie. And Cherie reached out to me, and this is not the only person, and this is going to be a long conversation. It's okay. This is not the only person that's reached out to me for business stuff. Cherie reached out to me, and Nikki reached out to me to go work for her. DCI Jams asked me to um, partner with him in trucking. I will not be doing that. There's other reasons why, but and I don't think DCI is a bad person. I think he's a grown male, just like a lot of grown males. And there were some other issues that came to the table, and I've made decision that I will not be partnering with DCI Jams. He's still an admin on the Trucker 411. He still gives information. He does a lot of feedback. You guys have questions. I will never doubt that, but I just know that it's not going to be a fit. But people have come to me and they say, "Hey, we would like to do business with you." Are we? It's like Nikki, love Nikki to death, but I told Nikki straight up, no, I don't, I don't want to work for 1099 and work for someone, and I don't have any benefits. I have health issues, as I told you guys. I got very sick in my late 20s. I need medical insurance, and right now, until I'm positioned where I can pay my own medical insurance, I work as company because I get medical insurance. Okay, if I have 1099s, I better be in the process of buying, my own and like a lease purchase deal or a leasing deal where I'm bringing in the right kind of money and I can pay for the insurance on my own. Other than that, I'm not going to 1099 without any kind of like without buying a truck. I'm not. I just don't see the 1099. I don't see the value in it. And because they're the 1099, I need the business write-offs. So I need to have my own established business in order to do my 1099. I'm not going to be out here for me personally, and especially under the new Trump laws, tax laws, not being able to write off if you're a trucker working for someone, not being able to write off expenses. So we can no longer write off expenses as company drivers. And if you're 1099ing it and you don't have a business name set up, or a business set up in some form or fashion, you can't even write those expenses off. You really gonna have to sit down and talk to a tax person. I've talked to a few people who I know who've done taxes, and I know there's some big changes in trucking. So, I like me, I'm gonna have to get somebody who works with trucker taxes or works with business taxes. So I'll be talking to somebody that Nikki knows, my buddy Joe knows does taxes. Uh, uh, Danielle said somebody who worked with some guy that she knew. The last guy, I might talk to that lady, but I need somebody who does trucker taxes. Anybody who does trucker taxes that you know who's good, go ahead and hit me up at truckerdoll@gmail.com and get that over to me. I'm gonna be checking on a few folks, but I can't, and I'm getting burnout on it. I love driving, I do, but I can't play the game with the companies anymore. Those games are done for me. Um, so right now I'm at Choctaw Casino. I don't know if I'm resetting here or in Dallas. Right now I'm sitting here. So they've got a restaurant across the street. They've got I forgot what's in here. There's not too far from here. So I also could personal convey somewhere if I need to, because that's on off duty time. Right now I'm in sleeper birth time. I'm gonna do my 8 hours. Um, but yeah, they woke me up last night. I dropped the trailer and I'm done. You're thinking about port work? Oh, okay. She brings looking at doing some port work. She brings I got a guy, but I haven't seen him. He was on here, one of my placements, and I should get his phone number. He does ports in Cali for JB Hunt. He's home in his bed every night. He was what I told you was at Swift. That that baby did exactly. I don't even know if he did 4 months. he, he's like, I'm out. He Starter Company has its own level of drama, and that's the only thing about if I did go back to Swift, I wouldn't be there long. I honestly, it's of all the starter companies that I've dealt with, and I dealt with Werner, I dealt with this company I'm with right now, I dealt with Swift. I still say Swift is your better option. I don't know about Knight. I've heard good things about Knight, but when you get to starter companies, it's always going to be bare bones trucks. You're going to have to deal with that idle drama. Um, it, it, it's going to be some drama. It's just going to be drama with it because it's always starter company stuff. That's why I'm looking for small to medium because at least you're giving me. Normally, they're going to give you a little bit better equipment. And when I say small, I don't mean as tiny as what Danielle's dealing with. Because Danielle, I don't even think these people got 20, 30 trucks. And usually what it sounds like they're doing is they have people bringing trucks over to them. And then as they have drivers come in, they either attach a driver to somebody who has a truck. And then they put that driver in the seat and you 1099. At least that's what I'm getting. She hasn't been there long. So hopefully she just started with them what, Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. And they brought her truck down. So from Wyoming and it's one of the relatives' trucks. So she's driving, I think she said it was a 2007 Freightliner. 10 speed, and Danielle only wants to do manual. Yeah, but Stevens is still a starter company. I can't. This right here, this right here did it for me. If I have to do a starter company, I'm gonna go do Swift because I understand their logic. And Swift has a methodology that works, and I know that I'd be making more than freaking $300 a week, $500 a week. I know I would be. Um, I also know Swift like that week I said, granted, yes, they paid for the hotel stay. Yes, I got breakdown pay and my battery's getting ready to go down. Um, I got. I got breakdown pay, all that stuff. And they did, they paid for the hotel. But I'll be honest, Swift would have been looking to get me into another truck. They would have like, Shannon, as soon as you get here, we'll get you into a new truck because you've been broke down too many times. I wouldn't have been sitting that long. I would have been in another truck and they would have made arrangements to get me to another truck. Even when I came back after having the truck repaired, they would have had me come in and say, "Hey, do you want to get a different truck?" It was just it's just they're usually handled better. So, and it's okay. It's okay. All this is for a reason. It was to help me transition from the white company, and this will help me get home to Phoenix, get my stuff off there in Phoenix, and then I'll work out on wrapping things up with them out of Phoenix. And then, like I said, I'll have a bag if I have to, you know, drop it off or whatever. I already kind of have a plan on how we're going to get everything together out of Phoenix. But yeah, Phoenix is going to be my done. I'm done. I'm DONE. I'm done. Um, I don't know bad, good, or indifferent. This may work for some people. What I will give them for credit is they are a second chance company, and I think that is needed in the industry. They do give these babies second chances for minor infractions with other companies. So you've dropped a trailer, you got stuck in the mud. Um, the guy that Cody, he got stuck in the mud. He said at a natural gas field or something. I'm thinking that's an oil field. I have no idea. And Werner, if you get stuck in the mud, they have to tell you they automatically put that as a preventable. Um, and then he said he was in a tight space or something. He pulled out and took off a front bumper of a truck. They fired him after that. Um, so my concern with even having Cody on here was I don't know if he couldn't if he was driving. I think his Cody's issue would have been more his decision making, like because we have to make decisions out here. And if you don't make the right decision, you're going to have an accident, which is how you take off a bumper. Because you've driven for 8 months. Within that 8 months, you should understand trailer swing going forward and back. So you also should understand that you have to pull out a certain length and then turn if you're right next to another truck so you don't take off the bumper. I'm just saying. And I'm not saying it can't happen, it can happen to anybody, you're tired, whatever, but at 8 months in, that's something you should be very focused on. Last night, for example, I was turning in a very tight yard. And even when I left out a carrier, there was a truck right next to me. There was not a lot of pull up space. So when you pull up, I had to go this way a little bit, then curve it this way, get real close to the trucks or the trailers in front of me, and pull around. And then I went really slow, and I had to watch those that ti the tail of that trailer because I was coming around a truck that was parked in the bay right next to me that was sitting out front as well. Had I cut too quickly, had I cut not in time, I would have taken his front bumper off. I'd taken his whole front off actually. So you've got but 8 months in the game, you should be looking for that. But it is what it is. So no, right now I'm kind of praying as to what move, whether I'm going back corporate, whether I'm staying in transportation. But I know that when I get home to Phoenix, we're cleaning this truck off. Everything's coming off this truck. I've got bedding on here that's coming off. I already talked to Joe, made those arrangements. I don't have it's unlike my other trucks where I usually have a lot of stuff on here because they didn't have a lot of amenities. The main thing I have is bedding. I have a few bags under the bed, which is laundry soap, and I have some tools. And Joe will come. We'll put that in. He has a little crossover SUV. Lay that down, and put everything in here. I don't have anything of massive importance. I don't like my cooler is a little $20 cooler and it's just the ice chest. I didn't go with an electric cooler. I wasn't spending any big money in this truck because I didn't know how things were going to go. And that's like Danielle was kind of trying to talk me to come to her company. I said, no, no, I don't. You haven't been there long enough to tell me anything. They're very nice. A lot of companies are nice. These people honestly, they're very nice. Everybody in the office, the recruiter Stacy, very nice lady. Love the driver manager, and that is the only thing I'm really gonna miss about this company. I like this Kane dude. I like his whole style, everything on how he communicates, how he handles his shiznit, and it's funny because it wasn't until he left the office that I'm dealing back with BS again. And I'm like, I can't. I can't. But to me, it's also, I'm a very much a big sign person. God is talking to you. And so I don't know if God is telling me it's time to come out the industry. I don't know if I'm supposed to go back corporate, but God is talking. And I do know I'm supposed to be leaving here. That is very evident because I was going to stay, but my gut was telling me this isn't going to work. And some people have made it say, "Oh, you're jumping ship. You've jumped ship 3 times." So let me kind of give you the background. So I was at Swift a total of over 3 years when I came back in. I left for a minute to do the little. I left to go deal with Monty and his stuff, and went to the WFX company. Dealt with them for a minute. That was one in Oklahoma. Uh, that was shenanigans, and I said, "Oh, I'm good," because anyway, I'm good. Beautiful equipment. Their trucks are gorgeous. I'm just saying. Left them, went back to Swift. Worked with Swift for I think another year and a half or whatever, and started trying to do the training thing. Had somebody come in referral. Started dealing. Was back with the same raggedy ass trailers, and I'm just like, I can't. I got to a point. I stopped caring. It's like right now I'm getting to the I don't care here as well. And when I don't care, normally I get to a point I don't care if you're a little late, you know, time. I don't care. Whereas I'm out here busting my hump and trying to be um trying to make sure you're low. Yesterday I that was work ethic. That was my work ethic because I was hot yesterday to get that trailer over to the carrier facility, and I had to sit down and say, Shannon, the Mexico people ain't done nothing to you. And these people don't know what they're doing, and they're used to dealing with newbies. It's time to go. Just go on and do your job until you get home and get your shit off the truck. I made my phone calls and start making your phone calls. It's no ill will, it's no hatred. It's a starter company. And starter companies tend to come with starter stuff. There was a good conversation I did have. I met a gentleman who is working here in the fuel aisle of the Petro. He's been with this company for since 90 something. He said the only reason he's stuck with them is because he said initially they made good money prior to the parent company taking over. So the starter company that took them over, he said prior to them they made very good money. It was privately owned by a guy. Now I've heard some that he may have done some shenanigans like the Swift owner did. I don't know, and there might be some money issues that took place, which is why the company had to be acquired. I hope y'all can still hear me. Okay, can everybody still hear me? Because my phone did a weird. Um, the I hope y'all can still hear me. Y'all let me know if y'all can still hear me, if y'all have any hearing problems. Okay, good. He told me and explained to me quite a few things. So it was good to hear somebody from 90, he said 94 or something he's been. Um, Monet, are you here? I'm over at the Choctaw Travel Plaza. If you here in Oklahoma, I think it's Monet. Are you here? Because Monet just sent me a private message. If you here, let me know. I'm at the Choctaw Travel Plaza. Shit, we'll go over and go get some lunch. You know they got the shuttle that'll take us over to get some lunch because my fluffy ass ain't ate. I gotta do my meds too. Um, they got Burger King in here. I'm okay with that. But you know me, I'm gonna go probably go over here and get the shuttle over here and go get something to eat. Um, hopefully maybe I get that shuttle driver I had. I had a really nice shuttle driver. He's a former school teacher, and we got to talking last time I was here with the Sugar Boy. Um, what was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. I just lost my train of thought. Yeah. Oh, the 94 guy. So I met him. We had wealth of knowledge, brother, older brother like myself. He said that the only reason he's still with them is because he lives 5 minutes from the terminal. He says, and he wanted something because he was working for another trucking company and he was driving 700 miles and he wanted something close. Okay, when you get here, just park. I'm parked all jacked up. Um, you should know. I think you know who I work for. So right now, when you pull in that back way, I'm actually not parked normal because I got here late last night and there wasn't a lot of parking. So you know the trucks park like this. I'm parked like this. Go ahead and park normal because then I'm gonna turn my truck around and get parked right. And I got to get up because I'm in my PJs right now. And then what we'll do is we'll go over and go get some damn food. We'll take the shuttle over and get some food. Um. Anyway. You drive well, Sugar Boy was the one who could only drive for 2 hours. He would eat sugar behind the wheel, and then he talking to me crazy. I might, after I leave here, I might play that for y'all, but I have to leave the company first. I ain't gonna play it for y'all yet. I have to pray on it and listen to that conversation. And the reason I want to listen to it is because I've also, when I was talking to Nikki, um, Monet, let me know when you get here. See, God is good. I'm gonna see my home girl. My home girl moving to Arizona. I'm going to see my New York buddy I just met. Danielle, I'm getting ready to hang out with Monet. Monet, cool people. Straight up New York, though. I got that accent going on and everything. But she cool people. She moving to my home state of Arizona. Chicago BBW, better go on get to AZ and go hang out with us. What we gonna have is gonna have a get together. Be Monet, me, Nikki, Flossie, all of us. We gonna get together because there's a bunch of truckers in Arizona who I've hooked up through social media. I ain't never met. Flossie's one. Flossie was talking crap to me, y'all. Told me I was a crappy trainer, whole bunch of stuff. Then the ninja had the nerve to get in touch with me to get some help. Oh my God. I get the biggest kick out that. Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna be here for a minute. No, I was asleep last night. I'm gonna be here for a minute. So if you a few hours out, I told him I want to reset here. I don't even know. Ain't nobody responded back. I gotta look at the responses. So I'm gonna be here for a minute. So if you're gonna be a couple hours, I'm gonna be here for a minute. Of course. Visa, of course. Yeah. When Flossie reached out to me and then I realized who she was, I said, "Oh, aren't you the one who was talking crap in the comments?" And she started laughing. She said, "Okay, I'm very opinionated. I hope you don't mind." I said, "Girl, please, it's America. You got the right to your opinion. I ain't Trump. Yo, I ain't Trump where I'm gonna tell you to shut up and sit down. I ain't him. Now, unless you're really talking real off the wall, you don't have to agree with me to be on this channel. You don't have to agree with me. And she wasn't mean. She just basically, she, in a sense, put in her own way, very professionally, that she didn't feel I was a good trainer, yada yada yada. And somebody put on there that I should be rebuilding rapport, and that what it is some folks think you should sit there and listen to all the drama people got going on. I don't want to. Oh, you moving next weekend? Okay. Well, welcome to Arizona, baby. I'm gonna be there next weekend. I'm supposed to be there on the 15th. I got a doctor's appointment, and then I'm trying to decide if I get approved by that company. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to head out on the 19th or the 26th. Because the problem is, I really have not had any time off the truck, and I just going from one company and then getting back on it. I need a break, so I'm going to have to talk to my place sis today, and see about either staying with her or I might take Nikki up on her offer. Um, Nikki has not met me, so it feels kind of weird, even though I know Nikki's cousin. I'm always like people to get a rapport of who you are, and then you crashing out at their place. Cause y'all, I live off the truck. I pretty much when I go home, I stay with certain family members or friends, or I stay at a hotel. It just depends on if they have availability. You stuck in Colorado, I live here, but I've got when I talk to this guy. Let me go and finish this real quick because I'll lose my train of thought. When I talked to him, he was a wealth of information, and he told me he said because I told him I said, well, I have some questions for you. I said because I'm going through some stuff and I'm trying not to make jump decisions, but everything in me right now is saying get the hell out. And he said, what he said. He said, I'm in the process of buying this, this, and this, and after I do that, he said, but let me tell you what took place. He says the previous owner, he said there was some stuff he was, he had some issues. He wasn't perfect. He said, but he said the company, he says you made money as a driver. But when they sold off to this parent company who I'd never ever wanted to work for, because some people were trying to recruit me over to that company. That company has a nerve to, if you go over your idle, to actually deduct money from the driver's paycheck for going over the idle. He said that company, he said since they took over, now all they do is all this shuttle stuff. And he said the only way, so what they're telling people is, oh, when you call in, most of our freight is Eastern freight right now. Okay. But they're hiring from the West Coast still. I used to see this company. JJ was out there pretty much all the time. We'd run into each other. And he was solo. Granted, he was at that point. No, even when him and his wife were there, they were up and they got. Well, no, hold on. Yeah, they drove. He's from Chicago, but he was out in Arizona and Nevada. And so, and he was solo. He said what they've done is all the solo drivers, they don't send them out west anymore. They only send the teams. Got you. So what they're doing, and you have to again read between the lines of what trucking companies are doing. Under the new company, solo drivers, they got you doing all the little shuttle shit runs around Arkansas and the East Coast because those are shorter mile runs. And then they're giving the big miles to the teams. So they got you doing a day cab stuff for no money. That's because a lot of the stuff is day cab stuff, and they don't have a lot of day cabs. Swift had a slew of day cabs in Phoenix, but even if Swift needed you as a OTR driver to do bigger runs, one thing Knight did do is they introduced a bigger percent per mile for you to get, or excuse me, bigger cent per mile for you to get for the shorter runs because they knew drivers don't want to do short runs because there was no money in it. You basically got me working short runs for slave labor. That's what you're doing. That's what these guys are doing. And so I'm like, I understand what's going on now. So if you're a solo driver, they only got you doing these little bitty butt runs. Okay. So I'm like, got you. So we keep you in Arkansas. We keep you just, within a 400 or 500 mile radius, 200, 300 mile runs. This all this dropping hook shit in between Tyson and no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Guy I talked to yesterday, Nikki hooked me up with him in Phoenix. She said she was thinking about going there, but she's going to do tanker. Me and Nikki talked, and Nikki hooked me up, and I called a guy, and we got to talking. He says we average 3,000 or more miles a week, solo drivers. He says you will get miles with us. He says you do the 11 Western. I told him, I said I occasionally want to go to Texas because I really want to just hang out maybe with Danielle. I'm not worried about Grumpy too much, but I have a couple places I like to go eat out there. The sushi spots and stuff. Arizona has probably better, but they've got a couple places in Lubbock that I kind of enjoy. And I can go see Danielle occasionally. Plus, I do need to go back to Texas and get a few things because I'm gonna get the rest of my stuff out my father's house. I got a couple bins there. Oh, oh, oh. Excuse me, y'all. And so they do go into Texas. This company, though, that's really the farthest they go. Everything they do is Texas West. And so I talked to him. He says we have 500 trucks in our fleet. Their trucks range from I think 2016 to 2019. I know he said Freightliner was mainly one. I'm going to be doing it. He was getting ready to get on a plane. He took the time out to talk to me, and he says, I'll send you the application. So I'm going to do the Intelli app today, get that over to him. And like I said, it's going to be somewhere between doing that, going back to corporate, or bus. And in the worst case scenario, would be temporarily going back to Swift, working somewhere out of the Phoenix location because I'm moving my license back to Phoenix because I can get my hazmat on there. I'm moving it out of Texas. Um, and going back into Phoenix because I realize I need to work for a West Coast company. There's a certain mindset and a certain way that we do business that works for me. Um, if I do stay in the industry after I do my Chapter 7, I may look at lease purchase and I may be talking to Monet about her company. I was impressed with the truck she has. She has a new Freightliner. I'm also impressed with the fact she tells them I don't want to run nothing more than I-40 corridor. And I think she told me they had some local stuff out of Phoenix. So we might be talking about that too. Um, so right now, probably them and this other company that Nikki hooked me up with are who I'm probably going to be looking at. I didn't want to do lease purchase right now. I really want to try to get the Chapter 7 done. And then I'm like halfway to paying them off. So I'm going to go ahead and pay them off and then go from there. And then also I need to get somewhere. Also, this company I talked to, they have United Healthcare, which is second best insurance company in the nation. This one is using Cigna, the one I'm at right now. Cigna's okay. Um, they're okay. They're okay. And y'all, candy, y'all see, it says sugar free. I don't know why Sugar Boy couldn't have got this. It's fine. You need a candy fix? Here's a caramel, and I love caramel. Caramel crisp. What else we got up in here? I don't even know. I ain't even looked at all of them. I know it's got like a couple different varieties. It's got dark chocolate caramels, caramel crisp, and creamy caramels. I don't know if I had a creamy caramel. Okay. I don't know. I haven't gotten all of them. Oh, here's regular caramel. Okay, caramel. Oh, hold on. Caramel crisp. Oh, dark caramel. Okay. I'm not a real big dark chocolate person, but dark chocolate's supposed to be good for you. But when I have a sugar craving, sugar free, and it's stevia extract for my diabetics or for weight loss people. Hell, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, he really did school me, and he said that everything went down. The miles went down for solo drivers. They started doing whatever the shenanigans or the parent company does. And then I said, well, I never wanted to work for the parent company. And my understanding was they're going to run separately, which I knew. I know that usually when companies say that, that's only for a temporary time. They're going to be running the company separately. It's only for a temporary time, and then they're going to end up doing the same shiznit that everybody else does. Um, and they're going to end up being one merged company. It's like Heartland, and me and Nikki talked about it. She had worked for Interstate, was one of her first lease purchase companies, and she said I loved it. Interstate was great. You did your load board, everything was wonderful. She made good money, and then they merged with Heartland Express and Interstate Distributing. The whole setup they had for lease purchase was gone overnight. They came in there, they talking about they run it separately. They did for a minute, and then all of a sudden, boom, it was changed. So she said it was like they were doing things that they knew. She said she should have seen, it was gradually coming, and then boom, it happened. So yeah, y'all tell me what y'all would do. I'm on quiet now, and if I don't, I might end this here soon. But tell me, and y'all give me some feedback. Would y'all continue to stay after what I just told you, or would you be jumping ship? And for those of you who left comments to me, with chocolate, um, I know I've had some people leave comments about, oh, you jump in company. This is the foul thing about trucking. You're trying to find your fit. And that's why right now I'm stepping back. And if I stay in the industry, what do I want to do? When I talked to Cherie, she reached out to me because she said she has working with some grants or something, a grant that she's been approved for to kind of do a business. She wants to do it with women mainly. She's a trucker. She does tanker, and then she owns a separate truck that somebody else drives, a team that drives for her. She's up in the Virginia area. We had a really good conversation. So I'm gonna say this to people who reach out to me because she's not the only person that reached out to me. Magically, yeah, I'm bouncing. I already know I'm bouncing. I'm just asking for opinion because it's good conversation. I already know what I'm doing. I already know what I'm doing. It's done. Um, I'm putting those wheels in motion. Say there's not much they can do now. I'm done. Um, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Oh, Choctaw Travel Center, 6975. It's in hold on for a second. Y'all give me a second. All right. It's Calera, Calera, Oklahoma, which is Durant West, Choctaw Travel Plaza. It's Calera, Calera, Durant West, Choctaw Travel Plaza. Monet, I think if you're in Texas, Danielle might be still in Dallas. She's at near the Six Flags, the company she's at. I don't know if she's left yet with her load. I know they were supposed to detail her truck today. So she's probably still in Dallas. All right, and then let me go because I know I got some people that put in here. I want to just see what people said. So, Magical Girl said I would bounce. Jacqueline Norwood, trucking, trucking looks to be having driver issues across the board. I would personally say, okay, Jacqueline, we'll talk about that in a minute. Um, Shay, hit me up in the background about Everett because I've seen their trucks. I don't know much about them. I was gonna. That's actually yeah. Hit me up in the background about them. Truckerdoll@gmail.com, or you can hit me on Facebook and chat. Shay, you drive from yeah. Hit me up in the background. Maybe we'll talk. Hit me up in the background and give me some information. We'll talk. All I know is I need something. I want somebody with some West Coast mentality. This Southern mentality does not work for me. Thank you, Magical Girl, and I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate it, and that's why people are gonna tell me their opinion, and they're gonna make comments about oh you jumping da 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 da. You know, unless you're out here and you go through this and you try these companies, and that's why it's like Jay. He told me he says one of the reasons he became what he called a glorified company driver, meaning he's leasing a truck. A lot of people lease so that they have more say, and it's sad because that's kind of I think the trucking companies I don't know if they know it or if it's covertly done. I think by how they do their treatment of drivers, it forces drivers that want to be in the industry to go lease purchase so that they have more say and they don't have to put up with as much BS. That's the only reason I left Hirschbach because that's where I went to when I tried to lease purchase. Is if I tell you I want to do a reset and I'm paying you $760 a week for a truck, I'm gonna do a reset. You don't gonna tell me I'm not. And when you think you can still tell me how to that I can or can't with my hours of service do a reset, and I have an hour and something left on my, I won't do the middle finger, but I didn't. I did the peace sign. I'm trying, y'all. No, and that's why we ended ways because I was like that was part of it, and then also the truck I'm leasing. I go to plug in the damn USB, and I go to pull the USB, and the whole damn connection that's in the whole truck, just the wires and everything, just come out the dash. Open up. There was so much shit falling apart inside that truck. Y'all God forgive me for cussing. It was so much crap falling apart inside that truck. I was like, and then when they did the whole you can't reset, and I had some family stuff I had to take care of. Get me on back to your Denton, Texas, to love. And honey, I went and I told them to get me to Denton. They gonna try to get me to Lubbock. And they put me right in between. That's why I was supposed to have a sorry ass cousin who was supposed to pick me up and didn't. And I went and cleaned that truck up, packed my crap up on that truck, got my two duffel bags, and called Lyft. Lyft came and got me, and I said bye. Shay, is that the hand like you raising your hand, or is that when you saying like bye Felicia? Shay E, are you saying bye Felicia? Or are you raising the hand? You got a question? Ooh Lord, if I wasn't fluffy, I'd apply for Prime and go and do lease purchase. Yeah, Shay, hit me up in the background. And I'm not talking about Shay E. I'm talking about okay, so I got Shay E and I got Shay Cash. I'm talking Shay E. Oh, hey Shay E. You just came in. Okay, you got to go back and hear the whole story. Yeah, Shay Cash, hit me up in the background, give me some information, give me a number I can talk to you because I'm gonna have questions. Because whatever I do next, I'm telling y'all, this is gonna be it for me. I'm done. I'm done. After that, Shannon gonna have to sit her fat ass in an office. And I hate customer service, but I'll be Hi, this is Shannon at XYZ Corporation. How may I assist you today? Making my 15 to 18 bucks an hour and getting in a bed and going to sleep at home because if I got to deal with drama, I'd rather be able to go and chill at home and hang with folks I know and go see a movie and go to the coffee house and live a normal life than to be out here, even though I love driving, be out here dealing with the shenanigans of the trucking company because right now, this right here is not the truth. This is not the business. This is really wrong. Really, really wrong. And I won't talk who the company is because I told you I don't normally tell who I work for in the beginning, but later on I'll tell you who the company was. Um, And like I said, I can't say they're bad. I just think they're a starter company, and I think this is just how they run their stuff. Hey, Crystal, what's up? Yeah, I think this is just how they run their business, and some unfortunately some companies it's shoddy. It's very shoddy. So yeah, I'm supposed to. I think I was supposed to be in Texas. I don't know what I'm doing. I told them I'm just gonna reset here. I can reset here at the Choctaw Travel Plaza and call it a day. Oh, Crystal, I hope you feel better. Nothing like being sick, girl, I've been sick on the truck, and it's when you sick on the truck, it's horrible. I hope you at home, 'cause at least at home, oh, somebody texting her. Okay, I have to. I don't know. I don't know who's texting her. Um, yeah, thank you. Yeah, do what Magical Girl said do. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna end it here because we're an hour and 22 minutes in, or 122 minutes in, and I'm gonna get up, start getting dressed. I gotta see what these damn people are doing. Oh, you got headaches, migraines, Crystal. If you got migraines, I'm gonna tell you what did work, and I haven't had migraines in a long time. Excedrin migraine works wonders. Hold on, who is this? Alvera, I'm ending it, sweetie, but welcome to the channel. Magical Girl, I'm hoping I still have your number. Hit me at Trucker Doll again with your phone number because I don't think I programmed you into the new phone. By the way, if y'all have my old number, this that phone number is off. Everything is switching to the new phone. Yeah, Shay, if you got migraines, I use that Excedrin migraines when I had it. It worked out really well. Um, and hold on, Alvera DaCosta, Alvera. Is it Alvera DaCosta? I know the DaCosta. Is that I got? Is that the DaCosta? Is that Italian or Spanish? I think it's Italian. Look, my fluffy ass want to know, can you cook? Cause I love me some Italian food too. I love Italian. Girl, I gotta lose weight. Me and the weight gonna have to be. That might be another reason the Lord might bring me off the road. This weight gotta come off. Look, you give me a last name. Look, what my idea? I like. Okay, it's either Spanish or Italian, and I'm thinking it sounds Italian. Shoot, that's the. Can you cook? I, 'cause I like some Italian food. Although I make a mean, so I can cook. Me and Nikki was talking about food. I can cook. And my whole family on my mother's side, we all, even my brothers, we all can cook. We have a gift of cooking. It's gifted. It's like a gift. And I think we inherited it from my grandmother, who was also they had a restaurant. They had like one of the first soul food restaurants in Arizona. Getting off topic a little bit, and so I can cook. And Italian is one of when I did home economics, I did that. Everybody, I mean, I did the stuff too, and I learned about doing pasta. So I make a mean manicotti. My manicotti is on hit. And when I do my spaghetti sauce, granted, I don't make it from scratch and do the all with tomatoes and go cut up fresh tomato. I don't do that. Although that's something I would like to do, but I know it's a lot of work. But I go in and I get my sausage, and then I get all my sauces and my seasonings, girl, my spaghetti, and a whole bottle of wine. I pour an entire bottle of wine into my spaghetti sauce, and it is on hit. But I make a mean manicotti. So I do. I like and I love good Italian food. I can't eat it all the time because Italian food to me is similar to soul food. It can be very heavy, and so I can't. But when I do want some Italian food, it's on and popping. She said, "Now you're talking food." Look, I talk food. Look, we can do. I probably need to do a food conversation. I am gonna be putting my video together. I've been supposed to have this for months. When I get home, I'm gonna sit down and do a compilation of truck stops and places I've gone over the road, where you can park a truck, get food, or even park a truck and get a lift and go get food in the area. Um, I'm gonna be doing a compilation video. I was supposed to be doing it for a while, but unfortunately I've got pictures on the old phone, I got pictures on the new phone, I got stuff on the excuse me, on the laptop. So I'm gonna try to do a compilation video for y'all, and it'll be on the Trucker 411 YouTube page. We haven't really done a lot of stuff on there. We all have kind of slacked off there Everything, everybody's just going through their own stuff. That girl doesn't even know how to put stuff on there yet, and she's also still getting acclimated to her thing at Rail, spelled Roehl. So, wow. Okay. I do like enchiladas. I usually, but I what I do is enchilada casserole because it's easier than sitting there rolling out all the enchiladas. I lay them all flat. It's the same thing you put it in the enchilada, but I just lay all my tortillas flat or my corn tortillas flat, and then I just put the filling, and then I just do layers, and that's how I do. I do what I call enchilada casserole. It's just easier to me than rolling out a bunch of enchiladas. But I do like enchiladas, but enchiladas is not my top Mexican dish. Um, my top favorite Mexican dish is ceviche, which happens to be seafood based. That's why I said I could probably go pescatarian and be just fine because I can do that. And I was just watching there's these two off gridders, Stacy and I forgot what their names are, Stacy and somebody. He went and got some fish from Costco, and he said he saw something moving. I don't know if it's true or if it was doctored, but he actually got the camera on it. You see the worm in there moving around the fish, and it was all in there. And y'all know when you eat fish, that's one of you can get worms. So and that's the risk we take sometimes with sushi too. That's why you want what they call sushi grade fish. See, Crystal said, "Great, now I'm hungry." Yeah, I haven't eaten yet. I got to get. Matter of fact, I got to get up, spread out my meds. That's what I'm doing next. Take my meds. I'm gonna move this truck to a proper location, and then see what the hell these people are doing. I told them I'm doing let's go ahead and reset here, and I ain't heard back from nobody. So I got to get on here and look. There's a message on here, but normally if it's a message directly back to me, it comes up on the phone, and I ain't got nothing up on the phone from them. So I'm gonna see what they doing. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, be blessed. But y'all be praying for me, and just I got it. I told this guy, I said, whatever I do next in trucking, that's it. I'm That's gonna be it for me. I'm not. I'm getting too old. I need to be somewhere where I'm settled down and making a steady income. I can't do this up and down bull crap. All the food talking. Anyway, y'all be blessed. 2 and 2. Y'all can leave comments below as to what you think I should do. I know I heard one person say don't go. Um, and stay where you at. And I know there's stuff going on in trucking right now. I'm not staying here. There's if stuff's going on in trucking, like I said, I'm blessed that I do have another skill set, a couple other skill sets, so I can do other stuff if I have to, and that's okay. And like I said, there's local stuff with CDL, and it's who was that who came up with the Junior Honduras? He said he calls it the NBA, never broke again. You can get, I mean, it might not pay exactly what you want. I mean, even though, like I said, I ain't making that much money, I'm getting something, but it's not what I should be making at 6 years in. And it's this a starter company bullcrap pay. And even most starter company people are making more than what I'm making right now. This is insanity. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, be blessed.